Respected dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, esteemed faculty members, dear researchers and my beloved students, a warm welcome, good morning to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the two-day national seminar on judicial review and freedom of expression, recalibrating constitutional morality, organized by the Parliamentary Affairs Club in association with IQAC MES College, Marapalli, and funded by Institute of Parliamentary Affairs, Government of Kerala. Judicial review and freedom of expression stand as the twin pillars of a vibrant constitutional democracy. While judicial review ensures the accountability of power and supremacy of the Constitution, freedom of expression nurtures democratic dialogue, dissent, and social progress. In a rapidly evolving socio-political and digital landscape, these principles demand continuous reflection and reinterpretation. This seminar aims to create an intellectual platform for accommodations, legal experts, researchers, and students to engage in meaningful deliberations on constitutional morality, landmark judicial pronouncements, and the dynamic balance between individual freedoms and institutional authority. Through insightful sessions and scholarly discussions, the seminar seeks to deepen our understanding of the judiciary's role in safeguarding democratic values and constitutional ethos. We are truly privileged to have with us today eminent personalities from the fields of academia, judiciary, governance, and public life, whose presence adds great value and meaning to this academic gathering. To begin this auspicious occasion, let us seek the blessings of the Almighty. Now I invite Ms. Sneha K. George to render the prayer. Thank you, Sneha. To formally commence the proceedings, it's my honor to invite Professor Dr. Mansoor Ali PP, Principal of MES College, Marapalli, to deliver the welcome address. Sorry. Let me call upon our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Jessina K.U., for the welcome address.
morning. The most respected principal of our college, Professor Dr. Mansoor Ali PP, Honorable Chief Guest, former High Court Judge and Acting Chief Justice, Justice C.K. Abdul Rahim Sir, College Management Committee Secretary, M.M. Ashraf Sir, Director General of the Institute of Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Vivish UC, Staff, Joint Secretary Dr. Sajana K. Jamal, Sajana K. Muhammad, Program Coordinator Dr. Jasal MP, distinguished dignitaries, dear researchers, colleagues and my dear students, a very good morning to one and all. At the outset, I take this opportunity to congratulate the Parliamentary Affairs Club for organizing this national seminar on the highly relevant theme, Judicial Review and Freedom of Expression. This program is organized in association with the Institute of Parliamentary Affairs, Government of Kerala. I extend a warm welcome to everyone present at this national seminar. At a time when democracy is facing serious challenges, discussions on constitutional values have become extremely significant. I believe that the seminar will provide meaningful deliberations for teachers, researchers and students alike. Now I am moving on to my duty of welcoming our distinguished guests to this seminar. First and foremost, I warmly welcome our college principal, Professor Dr. Mansoor Ali PP, a distinguished academician and a visionary leader. On behalf of the Parliamentary Affairs Club, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. We are honored to have Justice C.K. Abdul Rahim Sir, former High Court Judge and Acting Chief Justice, to formally inaugurate the seminar. His presence will greatly enrich the discussions. On behalf of MES College, Marmali, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. The Director General of the Institute of Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Vivish UC, is joining us online and watching the program. On behalf of MES College, Marmali, I extend a warm and respectful welcome to you, sir. We are fortunate to have a progressive and visionary management. The support extended by our management committee members is truly commendable. We are extremely thankful to all the management committee members. The Secretary of our college, M.M. Ashraf Sir, is always a constant source of inspiration in fostering a vibrant academic atmosphere in our college. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Joint Secretary of Staff Association, Dr. Sajana K. Muhammad, has extended her support to all the activities of the college. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a warm welcome to you, ma'am. This seminar is organized under the leadership of the coordinator of the Parliamentary Affairs Club, Dr. Jasal MP. The inauguration we witnessed today is the result of his months of dedicated effort. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. I also warmly welcome the joint coordinators, Ms. Anupama and Ms. Roshni, to this program for their support and guidance. The success of any program lies in its participants. I extend my special congratulations to all the researchers and students who are present in purpose at this seminar. I am delighted to welcome all the researchers to this session. Finally, I extend my heartfelt welcome to all the students and teachers who have gathered here and to the seminar organizing committee for planning and executing this program so effectively. I hope that this seminar will offer new insights into our constitutional rights and duties. Once again, I warmly welcome you all to MES College, Marmali, and wish this 2-day seminar a grand success. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's my proud privilege to invite our beloved principal, Professor Dr. Mansoor Ali PP, to deliver the presidential address. Sir, please.
Good morning, everyone. Most respected legal luminary, Mr. C.K. Abdul Rahim, former judge and acting Chief Justice, Kerala High Court, coordinator of this particular two-day national seminar on judicial review and freedom of expression, recalibrating constitutional morality, coordinator of Parliamentary Affairs Club, MAS College, Marapalli Autonomous, Dr. Jasir, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, coordinator Dr. Jessina, KU, our Honorable Secretary and MES State Vice President, Sri M.M. Ashraf, my dearest faculty colleagues, my dearest students. This is rarest occasions that is happening in MBS College, Marapalli. Very rarely we discuss on humanity or this kind of political or constitutional proceeding. The reason is that out of 27 programs, 25 programs are dominated by skill development or engineering, those kind of programs. Only we are having 2 programs that belongs to arts. One is English, another one is Arabic. And English has taken some initiative this year so that to discuss this kind of general human aspects of or political aspect of where we belongs to ultimately. There is a saying by a famous politician again, if you are not interested in politics, politics is interested on you, that is what politics. And this is the only invention by the humanity. Democracy is the only pillar that replaces all the other kind of governance. And the democracy must prevail, otherwise what happened, we know the kind of nation like India will be in trouble. That's why we are having a two-day national seminar on judicial review and freedom of expression, recalibrating constitutional morality. And if we are looking back again, we have celebrated, Republic Day a couple of days before, and how our constitution is made out. How good is our constitution? That's also discussed across worldwide. We all know the birthday of our first Prime Minister, that is Jawaharlal Nehru, but we don't know the demise or the death date of many of us doesn't know. And George Austin, he is a constitutional historian. He has wrote about the demise day of Jawaharlal Nehru on 27th May 1964. He was saying that on the day he witnessed Dr. Sayyid Mahmood, he is a contemporary, he has been a Bihar politician and minister from the Bihar. He was mourning there and he held the hand of Jagjeevan Ram. He was one of the politicians, more than 30 years he has been a cabinet minister for long years and he has become a deputy prime minister. And these are the two challenges while the nation India has gone. Like there had an apprehension from Jinnah, whether it will be suppressed, the Muslim community will be suppressed by the Hindu majority. That was the apprehension of Jinnah. That's why, the birth of another nation came, that's Pakistan. And another apprehension was from D.R. Ambedkar. He was a staunch, opposition for our father of nation. And the community where Ambedkar belonged, that was represented by Jagjeevan Ram. And that was the whole idea of India has developing. And now we are feeling there is a challenge. That's a feeling, that's emotion now we are having. And also we are having a concern whether that idea is slowly, getting changed. That's why we are put the word recalibrating constitutional morality. And I just searched, just out of curiosity, I searched how many PhD theses have come out Indian Constitution. So perplexity has suggested you must refer Shodhkana for that. And I gone through Shodhkana and I found that every year at least 2 or 3 PhD theses are coming out of Indian Constitution. Now you can multiply by the years, you can understand how many PhD theses have come out. And again, I am referring to Granville Austin, or constitutional historian. He is referring the Indian Constitution as one of the noblest still exists, because we know that those days many many nations has emerged. Even our neighboring nations. Still we are solid. Among the diversities we are having, still we are existing as a nation. The power of our constitution. That's what I met in MES Youth Fest that happened, a couple of days before. I met a Norwegian lady, and she was telling me that. So it's absolutely stunning. It's a wonder how diverse your country is. Still, it is existing as a nation. That's the beauty of a nation, and that beauty of diversity must prevail and must continue by the strong support of our constitution, and that must march forward us in future also, guide forward us also. That must be the takeaway message of this two-day national seminar. I must congratulate the initiatives of Institute of Parliamentary Affairs Club of this college, headed by Dr. Jasir. He has taken initiative to apply for Institute of Parliamentary Affairs for financial assistance, and we got that. And it is I think 7 colleges across the state has got this fund, and we are one among the colleges having this fund. I congratulate the Institute of Parliamentary Affairs Club for having this two-day national seminar with us. And also, once again, I welcome former judge and acting Chief Justice, Kerala High Court, Mr. C.K. Abdul Rahim, to MES Maramballi once again. He belongs to MES institution. He is one of the members of this beloved family. Once again, on behalf of MES College Maramballi, I welcome you, sir. And I wish all the very best to the participants who are, and also paper presenters, and enjoy the two-day national seminar and come out with beautiful philosophy that's move forward with nation. Wishing you all the very best and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening presidential remarks. Now I call upon Dr. Bivish UC, Director General, Institute of Parliamentary Affairs, Government of Kerala, to address the gathering. He will be joining online. I humbly request Dr. Bivish to address the gathering. Sir, please. It's okay, sir. So you can talk now.
സാറിൻ്റെ വീഡിയോ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. സാർ പക്ഷേ ലീവ് ചെയ്തു. വീണ്ടും ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യുമായിരിക്കും.
നമുക്കത് കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യാം.
അറിയില്ലല്ലോ.
അല്ല, അത് പിന്നീട് അടുത്ത സെഷനായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് അറിയിച്ചാൽ മതി.
നമ്മുടെ ഹോട്ടൽസിൻ്റെ ഹോട്ടൽസ് Sir, can you hear us? It's okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you. MES College, Maramballi. പാർലമെന്ററി ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടുമായി സഹകരിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നടത്തുന്ന ഈ ഒരു ദ്വിദിന ദേശീയ സെമിനാറിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി കോളേജിൽ എത്തണമെന്ന് ഏറെ ആഗ്രഹിച്ചിരുന്ന വ്യക്തി കൂടിയായിരുന്നു. നമുക്കറിയാം, നിയമസഭാ സമ്മേളനത്തിലേക്ക് ഒരു കാലഘട്ടമാണ്. ഈ ഒരു ഘട്ടത്തിൽ ഇക്കഴിഞ്ഞ ബജറ്റിൽ ഞാൻ ഏറെ സന്തോഷത്തോടെ ഒരു നിലപാട് പങ്കുവയ്ക്കുകയാണ്. പാർലമെന്ററി ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് സംസ്ഥാന ബജറ്റിൽ പാർലമെന്ററി ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിന്റെ ആസ്ഥാന മന്ദിരം നിർമ്മിക്കുവാനായി കഴിഞ്ഞ ബജറ്റിൽ 5 കോടി രൂപ വകയിരുത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട് സംസ്ഥാന സർക്കാർ. അതിന്റെ ഒരു സന്തോഷം നിങ്ങളുമായി പങ്കുവയ്ക്കുകയാണ്. അതോടൊപ്പം ഇതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട കൃത്യതയും കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നേരിട്ട് കോളേജിലേക്ക് വരുവാൻ സാധിക്കാത്ത സാഹചര്യം ഉണ്ടായത്. എങ്കിലും അതുമായി ഓൺലൈനിൽ എത്തുവാൻ സാധിച്ചത് വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. ജുഡീഷ്യൽ റിവ്യൂ ആൻഡ് ഫ്രീഡം ഓഫ് എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ എന്ന വിഷയത്തെ അടിസ്ഥാനമാക്കി കോളേജിൽ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ഈ ഒരു ദേശീയ സെമിനാർ വിഷയത്തിന്റെ പ്രാധാന്യം കൊണ്ടും നമ്മുടെ വിദ്യാർത്ഥി സമൂഹത്തിന് ഈ ഒരു വിഷയത്തെ സംബന്ധിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു നല്ല അവബോധം നൽകാൻ സാധിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വിഷയമാണ്. നമുക്കറിയാം, ഫ്രീഡം ഓഫ് എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ ഇന്ത്യൻ ഭരണഘടനയുടെ അടിസ്ഥാന തത്വങ്ങളിൽ ഒന്നെന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ വിശേഷിപ്പിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുന്ന ഒന്നാണ്. അതോടൊപ്പം ജുഡീഷ്യൽ റിവ്യൂ, ഭരണകൂടം ഭരണഘടനയ്ക്കെതിരായി ഏതെങ്കിലും ഘട്ടത്തിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അതിനെ ചോദ്യം ചെയ്യുവാനുള്ള നിയമവ്യവസ്ഥയുടെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നീതിന്യായ വ്യവസ്ഥ നൽകുന്ന ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട അവകാശങ്ങളിൽ ഒന്ന് തന്നെയാണ് ജുഡീഷ്യൽ റിവ്യൂ. നമുക്കറിയാം, ഇക്കഴിഞ്ഞ ലോക്സഭാ തെരഞ്ഞെടുപ്പിലേക്ക് ഒരു കാലഘട്ടം ഇന്ത്യയിലെ 2 പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട മുന്നണി, ഇന്ത്യ മുന്നണിയും NDA മുന്നണിയും പരസ്പരം മത്സരിക്കുകയും ഇതിൽ അന്തിമ വിജയം NDA നേതൃത്വം കൊടുക്കുന്ന BJP നേതൃത്വം കൊടുക്കുന്ന മുന്നണി അധികാരത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തുകയും ചെയ്ത് നമ്മളത് കാണുന്നു. ഈ ഒരു ഘട്ടത്തിൽ പലപ്പോഴും മാധ്യമങ്ങൾ ഭരണകൂടത്തോട്, ഭരിക്കുന്ന പാർട്ടികളോട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഭരണകൂടത്തോട് എടുത്ത നിലപാടുകളെ ആ ഒരു ഘട്ടത്തിൽ പലപ്പോഴും അതിനിശ്ചിതമായി വിമർശിക്കുന്ന വാർത്തകളൊക്കെ നാം കാണുക. പലപ്പോഴും മാധ്യമങ്ങൾ ഒരു പക്ഷത്ത് ചേരുകയും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പെയ്ഡ് ന്യൂസ് എന്ന രീതിയിൽ പലപ്പോഴും വാർത്തകൾ പുറത്തേക്ക് വരികയൊക്കെ നാം കണ്ടു കഴിഞ്ഞതാണ്. മറുവശത്ത് നിൽക്കുന്ന ഇന്ത്യ മുന്നണി മറുവശത്ത് പലപ്പോഴും ശക്തമാകാത്ത ഒരു പ്രതിപക്ഷം എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ മുൻപോട്ട് പോകുന്ന സാഹചര്യം കണ്ടു. അതിന്റെ അന്തിമ ഫലമായി നാം കണ്ടു, ഭരിക്കുന്ന പാർട്ടി തന്നെ വീണ്ടും അധികാരത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തുന്നു, മുന്നണി അധികാരത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തുന്നു. സീറ്റുകൾ കുറവാണ്, എങ്കിലും അധികാരത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തുന്നു നാം കണ്ടു. പക്ഷെ ഇവിടെ പലപ്പോഴും സംസാരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വിഷയം, ഒരു മുന്നണി അധികാരത്തിലേക്ക് എത്തിക്കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ വീണ്ടും അധികാരത്തിലേക്ക് വരും. ഇന്ത്യയുടെ നിലനിൽപ്പിന്റെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ രാഷ്ട്രം എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ ഇന്ത്യയുടെ അടിസ്ഥാന ഘടകമാണ് ഇന്ത്യയുടെ ഭരണഘടന. ഇന്ത്യൻ ഭരണഘടനയെ ചോദ്യം ചെയ്യുന്ന രീതിയിലുള്ള പല നീക്കങ്ങളും പല നടപടികളും ഭരണകൂടത്തിന്റെ ഭാഗത്തുനിന്ന് ഉണ്ടാകുന്നത് നാം കണ്ടുവരികയും പലപ്പോഴും ഭരണകൂടം അവർക്ക് അനുകൂലമായ രീതിയിൽ ഭരണഘടനയെ മാറ്റുവാനുള്ള ശ്രമങ്ങൾ നടത്തുന്നത് നാം കാണാം. ഇത് തീർച്ചയായും ചോദ്യം ചെയ്യപ്പെടേണ്ട ഒന്നാണ്. ഇത് അംഗീകരിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുന്ന ഒന്നല്ല എന്നുള്ളത് വ്യക്തമാണ്. ഇന്ത്യൻ ഭരണഘടനയുടെ അടിസ്ഥാന തത്വങ്ങളായ ജനാധിപത്യവും മതേതരത്വവും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ തുല്യതയും നീതിയുമെല്ലാം ഉറപ്പാക്കേണ്ടത് ഭരിക്കുന്ന ഭരണകൂടമാണ്. പക്ഷെ ഈ ഭരണകൂടം തന്നെ മതേതരത്തിനെതിരായി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇന്ത്യൻ ജനാധിപത്യത്തിന്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനം എന്ന് വിശേഷിപ്പിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുന്ന സെക്യുലറിസം എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കാഴ്ചപ്പാടിനെതിരെ നേരിട്ടും അല്ലാതെയും പലതരത്തിലുള്ള നിയമങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ടുവരികയും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിനെതിരെ പ്രക്ഷോഭങ്ങൾ ആരംഭിക്കുന്ന കാഴ്ചപ്പാടുകളൊക്കെ നാം കാണും. പക്ഷെ കേരളത്തിന്റെ സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ നമുക്കത് എത്രമാത്രം മനസ്സിലാവുന്നു എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നില്ല. എങ്കിൽ കൂടി ഞാൻ പറയുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യം, മറ്റു പല സംസ്ഥാനങ്ങളിലും സ്വന്തം മതത്തെ ഏതാണെന്ന് പറയുവാൻ പോലും സാധിക്കാത്ത, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്വന്തം താല്പര്യങ്ങൾ മതത്തിൽ വിശ്വസിക്കാൻ പോലും സാധിക്കാത്ത രീതിയിൽ പലപ്പോഴും പലതരത്തിലുള്ള അപകടങ്ങളും പ്രശ്നങ്ങളും നേരിടുന്ന കാലഘട്ടം കൂടിയാണ് ഇന്ന് ഇന്ത്യ. ഇത്തരമൊരു സാഹചര്യത്തിലാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു സെമിനാർ ജുഡീഷ്യൽ റിവ്യൂ ആൻഡ് ഫ്രീഡം ഓഫ് എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ എന്ന ഒരു വിഷയത്തെ അടിസ്ഥാനമാക്കിക്കൊണ്ട് ഒരു സെമിനാർ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുവാൻ MES കോളേജിൽ നമ്മൾ തയ്യാറായി. പലതരത്തിലും MES കോളേജിനെ കുറിച്ച് എനിക്കറിയാം. വ്യക്തിപരമായി അവിടുത്തെ പല അധ്യാപകരുമായി എനിക്ക് ബന്ധമുള്ളതാണ്. പാർലമെന്ററി ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിന്റെ ഈ ഒരു സെമിനാറിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി എല്ലാ വർഷവും നമ്മൾ സഹകരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു പശ്ചാത്തലം എനിക്കറിയാം. വളരെ നല്ല ഒരു ടെക്നിക്കൽ സെഷൻസ് ആണ് ഈ ഒരു സെമിനാറിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി കോർഡിനേറ്റർ തയ്യാറാക്കിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. തീർച്ചയായും പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളോട് പാർലമെന്ററി ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് അത് മാത്രമേ പറയാനുള്ളൂ. നിങ്ങളുടെ മുമ്പിൽ വരുന്ന അതിഥികളെ, റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സൺസിനെ ഏറ്റവും മാന്യമായി അവരുടെ സെഷൻസ് കേൾക്കുക. നിങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സിൽ ഉയർന്നു വരുന്ന സംശയങ്ങളും ചോദ്യങ്ങളും അവരുമായി നിങ്ങൾ പങ്കുവയ്ക്കുക. എങ്കിൽ മാത്രമേ നമ്മുടെ ഈ ഒരു സെമിനാറിന്റെ ഔട്ട്കം എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ നമ്മൾ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ഔട്ട്കം നമുക്ക് ലഭിക്കുകയുള്ളൂ. അതല്ലാതെ ഒരു സാധാരണ സെമിനാറായി കണക്കാക്കാതെ വളരെ നല്ല പാനലിസ്റ്റുകളാണ് വരുന്നത്. ആരെയും പേരുകൾ ഞാൻ എടുത്ത് പറയുന്നില്ല. അപ്പൊ ഇവരുമായി ഒരു ഇന്ററാക്ഷൻ ഉള്ള സമയം ഈ അധ്യാപക സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെയും വിദ്യാർത്ഥികൾക്ക് നൽകണം. കാരണം നമ്മുടെ ഭാവി തലമുറ ഈ വിദ്യാർത്ഥികളാണ്. നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്ത് നടക്കുന്ന പലതരത്തിലുള്ള ഇൻജസ്റ്റിസിനെതിരെ സംസാരിക്കുവാൻ കേപ്പബിളായി മാറേണ്ടവർ ഈ തലമുറയാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഇവർക്ക് അതിനുള്ള ഒരു അവസരം ഈ സെമിനാറിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി അധ്യാപക കോർഡിനേറ്റേഴ്സ് നൽകണമെന്നും ഈ സെമിനാർ ഏറെ വിജയകരമായി മുൻപോട്ട് പോകണമെന്നും അതിനെ ആ രീതിയിൽ തന്നെ കണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് സെമിനാറിൽ എല്ലാവർക്കും പങ്കെടുക്കണമെന്നും നിയമത്തോടുകൂടി എല്ലാ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട വിദ്യാർത്ഥി സുഹൃത്തുക്കളോടും അധ്യാപകരോടും കൂടി ആവശ്യപ്പെടുകയാണ്. അതിനുള്ള സജ്ജീകരണം ചെയ്യുക. ഈ ഒരു സെമിനാർ വലിയ വിജയമായി മാറട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable and encouraging words. To remark the auspicious beginning of the National Seminar on Judicial Review and Freedom of Expression, Recalibrating Constitutional Morality, we shall now proceed with the lighting of the lamp. I respectfully invite our chief guest, Justice C.K. Abdul Rahim, and other dignitaries on the stage for the lighting of the lamp. I request the audience to kindly rise. We are immensely privileged to have with us Justice C.K. Abdul Rahim, former Judge and Acting Chief Justice, Kerala High Court, and former Chairman, Kerala Administrative Tribunal. Justice Abdul Rahim will inaugurate the seminar and deliver the keynote address on the topic, the constitutional promise of liberty, the extent to which restrictions on freedom of speech are constitutionally sustainable. Sir, we respectfully invite you to inaugurate the seminar and deliver the keynote address. Sir, please.
Very good morning to one and all present here. May I begin in the name of God. Professor Dr. Mansoor Ali PP, Principal, ADS College Maramali, who is presiding over this function. Janab Adnan Ashraf Sahib, Secretary of MES Maramali College Managing Committee. Dr. Vivish, who addressed this gathering online just a while ago, who is the Director General of Institute of Parliamentary Affairs. Dr. Jessina KU, Coordinator of Internal Quality Assurance Cell. Dr. Yasir MP, who is the coordinator of this seminar. Other faculty present on the dais. Teaching and non-teaching staff of MES College Maramili. Most beloved students of this prestigious institution. First of all, I may congratulate the management, faculty, and the Parliamentary Affairs Club and Internal Quality Assessment Committee to organize a seminar on such a wonderful subject. Judicial review and freedom of expression, recalibrating constitutional morality. Basically, as an inaugural address, I am intending to touch upon the general aspects of a constitution, its evolution, etc., rather than going deeply into the critical issue of freedom of speech and its limitations, which are possible by the legislature or executive. Even though the subject assigned to me is the constitutional promise of liberty, the extent to which restrictions on freedom of speech are constitutionally sustainable, I hope that an elaborate explanation with respect to the evolution and the basic structure of the Constitution is mostly needed when you are conducting a seminar in relation to this particular subject. Therefore, I may begin with the subject, dealing it in more political, rather patriotic or legal or academic. I may start with the captioned subject on the reverse order, dealing firstly with the evolution of the Constitution. Dear students, in elementary classes in schools, we all studied in the subject of social science that America was invented by Columbus. Of course, there is a controversy. Historians remarks that even before Columbus landed in America, there was human habitation. If we put a question on Indian context as to who invented India, exactly there is no answer in the history. I leave it open to the students to answer this question on a later stage. Who invented India? Actually, India was a subcontinent having human inhabitation from time immemorial. But the question is, who constituted the sovereign Republic of India as distinguished from the subcontinent of India? Indian subcontinent under the regime of British colonialistic ruling comprised of the present territories of India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. The area was remaining divided into a large number of countries, having various extent, ruled by Chakravartis, Maharajas, Rajas, Samodanis and even Adhikaris. There is no authenticated data available with respect to the exact number of countries remained separated over the subcontinent. It is stated that it was more than 6,000 countries. People with a different complexion, different belief, different culture, different costumes, speaking different languages, following different law and following different custom and celebrating different festivals lived in this subcontinent, separated in more than 6,000 countries. The greatest ever difficult task of unification of India as a sovereign republic started with the enactment of Indian Independence Act in 1946 and with the formation of the Constituent Assembly. While answering the question, who constituted India or who invented India? Now, any one of you can answer who constituted India, who invented India. Anybody? Stand up and say. Anyway. Ambedkar. One of the answer came. Yes? Yes, yes. Stand up and say loudly. Ambedkar, same answer. Yes. It is good for being allowed such jokes that we enjoy. Ambedkar is somewhat near to the correct answer, but the correct answer is India was constituted by the Constitution of India. It is through Constitution of India or resolving or adopting the Constitution of India, the country could be able to unite into a sovereign republic. India as a republic came into existence through resolution and adoption of the Constitution of India. The Constitution of India was framed by the Constituent Assembly. The history remarks that the Constituent Assembly underwent various reconstitutions and additions, especially after 1947. They had undertaken the exercise of debates which bear record in the political history of the world. Product of the brainstorm done by nearly 400 eminent stalwarts from different walks of life, from different parts of the country, and from different politics, different literature, different religion, different culture, etc. They sat over more than 140 meetings. In somewhere it is stated that it is more than 160 meetings. Threadbare discussions, debates and interactions codified by the drafting committee headed by the ever-renowned constitutional expert Dr. B.R. Ambedkar resulted in the constitution. So Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee of the constitution. We cannot say that the constitution is the product of Dr. Ambedkar alone. It was the Constituent Assembly which formulated the constitution. Ultimately, it was drafted by a committee headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Our constitution still remains as the largest volume among the constitutions of different countries within the globe earth. And our constitution is even now remaining with an unbroken record for its base built upon the purest form of democracy. To illustrate the depth and importance of the debates undertaken by the Constituent Assembly, I may point out that what should be the name of the country? That itself was a controversy for which there were threadbare discussions in the Constituent Assembly. After liberation of Pakistan, demand was mooted from the side of Pakistan and from the side of Muhammad Ali Jinnah that this republic should be named as Hindustan and that the country which was liberated should be named as Pakistan. There was a hidden agenda behind such a demand, because Jinnah as well as the rulers of Pakistan wanted to establish that the inheritance of the Indian subcontinent, the ever-known country of India, which was known to the world as such, shall not be inherited into the country of India. When it becomes Hindustan and Pakistan, the erstwhile India is nowhere there. So they wanted India not to take the heritage of India, which was earlier known as a subcontinent. But in the Constituent Assembly, majority opinion resolved that the country should carry the name of India or Bharat. India athava Bharat. Such a decision was taken to protect the legacy and to keep the identity and the perpetuity of the Indian subcontinent, which was recognized and known to the world as India. When thousands of territories with vast diversities were integrated into a sovereign state of Republic of India, predictions from different parts of the universe from eminent historians and politicians was that this republic will only survive hardly for 5 years. But the country lived for 75 years as a sovereign republic. We have celebrated the 76th Republic Day a few days ago. And the country survived for 3/4 of a century with a substantial development and progress in a comprehensive manner in all spheres of life. This is only attributable to the strength of our mother legislation, the Constitution of India. While analyzing the strength of the Constitution, the sheet anchor base upon which the country was built assumes importance. You might have heard about the Keshavananda Bharati case, the ever historic ruling of the Honorable Supreme Court in the matter of Constitution, Keshavananda Bharati case. Does anyone know who was Keshavananda Bharati? Nobody. Does anyone know to which state Keshavananda Bharati belongs? Kerala. Yes, correct answer. He is a Swami from our own Kasaragod district. He approached the Supreme Court fighting against the enactment of Land Reforms Act, taking away the property of individual by the nation, by the state, by the executive. And ultimately, the question which arose before the parliament was as to whether the parliament has got primacy over the constitution. I will elaborate on that on a later stage. The Supreme Court in Keshavan Bandabari case defined the basic structure, defined as basic structure of constitution. Actually, it has not defined what exactly is the basic structure. But we can safely define that the basic structure of the constitution are the cardinal heritage upon which the country was constituted, which are embodied in the constitution and precisely imbibed into the preamble of the constitution. The peculiarity of Indian constitution is that the preamble forms the part of the constitution. In most of the other countries, the preamble of the constitution is not part of their constitution, but in India, it remains distinctively that the preamble of the constitution forms part of the constitution. How many students can recite the preamble by heart? Or can say the preamble? Nobody. Nowadays, in school classes, preamble is being taught, and most of the students in the school are ready to say preamble. It is like this: we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, and to promote fraternity. We know that the word socialist and secular were added only later through 42nd Amendment with effect from 1977. With respect to the history in formulating the preamble by the Constituent Assembly, very stiff debates were there in the Constituent Assembly. It is recorded that draft of the preamble was prepared by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. But as Malayalis, some of us secretly says that those are the wordings of V.K. Krishnan. That is off the record. Main debate in the Constituent Assembly was that how the preamble should begin. Some of the members of the Constituent Assembly argued that the preamble should begin with the wordings "in the name of God." But majority argued that no, it should begin with the sentence "We, the people of India." Ultimately, the debate went on to voting, and the majority voted that it should be as "We, the people of India." So I may repeat once again the preamble: "We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, and to promote fraternity. We, the people of India, who resolved the Constitution." A pertinent question assumes great importance and remains the basis for our unquestionable basis of democracy, is that who represent the we, the people of India. It cannot be those generations alone which lived in the country at the time of adoption of the Constitution, or those generations which lived in the country during the struggle for independence. It is not the people who involved the generations who lived in this country during the last 75 years. The answer need to be found out by an in-depth analysis into the preamble once again. The objective or the intention and the purpose behind the constitution of the country contained in the second limb of the preamble, and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, and to promote fraternity. This assumes importance. As long as the cause or the objective or the intention of forming the constitution, or as long as the objective in constituting a country like India is envisaged as to secure rights of the citizenry of this country, the obligation and the burden is upon us, we the people of India. The we, the people of India, includes all the generations which passed, and it includes the generation to which I and all of you belong to. It includes the generations yet to born and die within this country. So, we, the people of India, assumes importance. The ultimate answer for the first question I raised, who constituted India? It is not Dr. Ambedkar. It is not even the Constitution of India, but it is we, the people of India. We, the people of India, constituted. That we, the people of India, includes all of us also, not only those generations which lived in this country, but the present generation which represent all of us. And the generations yet to come and die in this soil of the country. The objective and intention for the purpose behind the constitution of the country contained in the second limb of the preamble, and to secure to all its citizens justice, equality, liberty, and to promote fraternity. The cause for which the country was constituted continues till it achieved the ultimate goal in this respect. What should be the ultimate goal? To achieve equal justice, equal liberty, equal fraternity, etc. to all the citizens. Such an objective need to be undertaken by we, the people of India. So it is an unending task which will continue until the last individual among the poorest, the last individual among the marginalized, the last individual among the downtrodden, the last individual among the destitute achieves absolute justice, absolute liberty, absolute equality, and gains absolute dignity of life and fraternity. So that's why it is termed as an unending process. There is a famous wording of Mahatma. When Mahatma spoke about freedom of the country, he said, until the Daridra among the Daridra Narayans of India gets absolute freedom, we cannot say that the country had gained freedom. Adopting the same principle of great words of Mahatma, until we ensure absolute justice, absolute equality, absolute liberty, absolute fraternity to each and every citizen, including the Daridra Narayan of this country, the unending process based upon which the objective of the Constitution is framed continues in this country. That is why, discarding all the predictions that this republic may not have existence beyond 5 years. The country lived up to 75 years. The country progressed up to 75 years. It was a progress we achieved in all spheres of life. It was a constant progress through which we are now marching ahead. Coming back to the basic structure, it is the cardinal principles and policies of the country enshrined in the preamble that India should be sovereign, India should be socialist, India should be secular, and India should be democratic. When the country is bound to keep the fundamental character based on the above said principles, a right to be secured to its citizens need analysis on a platform of those characteristics. It is explained in the preamble that justice secured to the citizens should be social justice, economic justice, and political justice. It is explained that liberty which is ensured to the citizenry should be liberty of thought, liberty of expression, liberty of belief, liberty of faith and worship. Such as equality is defined should be equality in matter of status and in the matter of opportunity. And lastly, there is a guarantee to promote among the citizens fraternity by assuring dignity of individual and unity and integrity of the nation. The Supreme Court in the famous Indira Sani's case held that equality is a basic feature of the Constitution. In Article 14 of the Constitution, it is provided that the state shall not deny to any person equality before law or equal protection of law within the country. Theories regarding the reasonableness of classifications evolved out of the fundamental rights protected under Article 14. The famous case before the Supreme Court in 1981, R.K. Garg versus Union of India. It was held that classification must be founded on an intelligible differentia, and the differentia must have a reasonable relation to the object sought to be achieved. So whenever a restriction is brought against the liberty of a citizen, including the freedom of speech, the liberty is more explained in Article 19 of the Constitution of India. The protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech, etc. That is Article 19. All citizens shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression, to assemble peacefully and without arms, to form associations and unions, to move freely throughout the territory of India, to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India, to practice any profession or to carry on occupation, trade or business. The restrictions are envisaged under sub-article 2 and 3. Nothing in this subsection shall affect the operation of any existing law or prevent the state from making any law insofar as such law imposes reasonable restrictions on the exercise of the right. Likewise, it is stated that nothing in this clause shall affect the operation of any existing law insofar as it imposes to prevent the state from making any law imposing the interest of the sovereignty and integrity of India or public order. So the restrictions with respect to the freedom of speech, which is protected under Article 19 of the Constitution, which is a cardinal principle or basic structure of the Constitution, which is envisaged in the preamble itself. It should be for protecting the nationality, integrity, sovereignty, and it should be for enforcement of any law prevailing within the country. This is where a particular subject selected for this seminar on this day falls. So the equality should be equality in the matter of status and opportunity. And lastly, there is a guarantee to promote among citizens fraternity by assuring dignity of individual and unity and integrity of the nation. In Indira Swami's case, which I mentioned earlier, the Honorable Supreme Court held that equality is a basic feature of the Constitution. In Article 14 of the Constitution, it is provided that the state shall not deny to any person equality before law or equal protection of law within the country. Theories regarding reasonableness of classification evolved out of the fundamental rights protected under Article 14. In Carr versus Union of India, it was held that the classification must be founded on an intelligible differentia and that the differentia must have reasonable relation to the objects sought to be achieved. The doctrine evolved is that any illogical, unfair or unjust classification from an authority of the state, which is authority of state coming within Article 12, would be violating of Article 14. The well-renowned principle, which is mostly discussed and applied in grievances relating to administrative actions, is the principle of natural justice. Especially the theory of odi alteram partem. Odi alteram partem means one should be heard before ordering anything against him. That is evolved out of the principles envisaged under Article 14, which is equality before law and equal protection before law. On analyzing the applicability of Article 14 in the context of challenges raised against executive actions of the state, especially those which are connected with the administrative system of the state, the cardinal principle remaining settled through legal precedents is that Article 14 combined with Article 19, which I just now read, ensures freedom of speech and expression, freedom to assembly and freedom to form associations and unions, freedom for free movement and residence in any part of the country, etc. It also guarantees freedom to carry on any profession or occupation, trade or business. Protection of life and personal liberty is also provided under Article 21 of the Constitution. These fundamental rights again guarantees protection against arbitrary and unreasonable actions from the side of the executive and to protect the observance of rule of law. The apex court in Bachan Singh versus State of Punjab in the year 1982 envisaged the safeguards needed to be analyzed in the context of limitations of executive powers of the state imposed through Article 162 of the Constitution. Under Article 162 of the Constitution, it is restricted that the executive powers of a state shall extend to matters with respect to which legislature of the state has got powers to make law. Here, state is used work to represent the state government as well as the union government, parliament also. When it comes to the legislative competence of the state, it remains well settled that any law made contravening the provisions of the Constitution and violating its basic structure or endangering the rights accorded to its citizens will have to be nullified. In the decision of the Supreme Court in Bhishmambar Dayal versus Chandramohan versus State of UP, pronounced in the year 1982, it is found that the executive power of the state is co-extensive with its legislative powers. But no executive action can interfere with the rights of the citizens unless it is backed by an existing statutory provision which of course need to be constitutionally valid. So the restrictions which can be imposed on the freedom of speech, which exactly is the subject discussed on today, such restrictions should be based on any law prevailing in the country or prevailing in the state. If it is necessary for effective implementation of a law prevailing in this country, restrictions on freedom can be imposed. But again, such law should not contravene the basic structure of the Constitution. That is the principles of sovereignty, principles of socialism, principles of secularism, and principles of democracy. How these each aspects or each principles need to be explained, it is a vast ocean. That is why in the Keshavananda Bharati case, do you know what exactly is the importance of Keshavananda Bharati's case? It is the ever largest decision of the Honorable Supreme Court. 13 judges comprising the entire strength of the Honorable Supreme Court sat to hear this particular case for days together. The hearing went on to more than 2 months. And ultimately, when the verdict came, it was a majority ruling of the Supreme Court. 6 judges was against the majority ruling, but 7 judges favored the majority ruling, which said that there is no absolute primacy for the Parliament to amend the Constitution. Parliament cannot make a law amending the Constitution or altering, not simply amending the Constitution. Of course, we know that our Constitution had underwent more than 100 amendments by this time. But when an amendment is brought to the Constitution, the Parliament has no primacy or no supremacy over the Constitution to alter its basic structure. The basic structure being those principles enshrined in the Constitution, which is imbibed into the preamble of the Constitution, that is the sovereignty, the socialistic nature, the secular nature, and the democratic nature of the country. And those features which are protected through the Constitution, the guarantee which we, the people of India, gave to the citizenry of this country, that as long as this country survives, we will protect justice, equality, liberty, and promote fraternity to entire citizens of this country. That is the oath we, the people of India, taken. And that is the oath which we, the people now living in this present generation, is continuing. And that is the oath which the generations yet to come in this country shall continue. It is absolutely an unending process, because it is the objective, it is the intention in constituting this country. Those basic principles are the structure of India. As I already elaborated, it was a country constituted by integrating thousands of countries together. It is a country which was integrated by joining together people of different religion, different caste, different creed, people who are speaking different languages, people who are following different costumes, people who are having different worships, different festivals, different custom. Diversity, which your principal had already told, the diversity upon which the country was constituted, it is a world wonder. No country in the world ever can have this much of diversity put together, integrated together to form a sovereign republic. That is why all the historians predicted that during 1950 that this republic may not have a survival beyond 5 years. But the country survived for 75 years, more than 75 years. So when we discuss about the freedom of speech, the liberty which is protected and guaranteed under the Constitution, and when we speak about how are the restrictions which could be imposed on the freedom of speech and the liberty, we should take in mind the basic structure of the Constitution, and we should we should bear in mind that it is we, the people of India, who constituted the Constitution. It is we, the people of India, who constituted the country of India. I hope the deliberations which will follow this inaugural session will elaborately discuss about all these things, and there are eminent personalities who are dealing with the subjects connected to this, and all the highlights which will be deliberated here will give more insight into the core subject, that is the liberty of the citizens, which extend to the freedom of speech and to the restrictions which can be imposed by the state against such liberty. I once again congratulate the organizers in selecting such a wonderful subject, and I hope the deliberations yet to come a good success in this seminar. And I express my deepest gratitude for having invited here and to granted an opportunity to be here to address all of you. With these few words, I declare this seminar as inaugurated. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for the profound and illuminating address. Next, I invite Janab M. Ashraf, Secretary, College Managing Committee, to address the audience. So please.
Most respected Justice C.K. Abdul Rahim, former acting Chief Justice of Kerala High Court and former Chairman Kerala Administrative Tribunal, respected Principal Dr. Mansoor Ali, Dr. Jessina, Coordinator AQAC, Dr. Sajina Muhammad, Joint Secretary of Staff Association, Dr. Jasser, Coordinator, Parliamentary Affairs and Electoral Liberty Club, and other distinguished resource persons, esteemed academicians, researchers, and dear students. Justice Abdul Rahim Sahib already explained in details about our today's subject, so there is no need of further talk about the theme of today. However, I wish all the best for this program. The theme of this two-day national seminar on judicial review and freedom of expression, recalibrating constitutional morality, jointly organized by the Parliamentary Affairs Club and the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of our college, in association with the Institute of Parliamentary Affairs, Government of Kerala, becomes profoundly relevant. The legislature and judiciary are the two strong pillars of our democracy. Regardless of changes in governments, freedom of expression must continue to remain a fundamental right in a democratic society. Whether a governmental action is popular or unpopular, the power of judicial review to examine such actions rests with the judiciary. This is one of the greatest strengths of our constitution. The Indian constitution is not merely a legal document, it is a living moral text. At its heart lies a delicate balance between liberty and limitations, freedom and responsibility, dissent and discipline. Among the many mechanisms that sustain this balance, judicial review stands as one of the most powerful instruments for safeguarding constitutional values. While freedom of expression remains a lifeblood of our democracy, in an age of digital media, instant opinions and polarized public discourse, freedom of expression often finds itself caught between competing claims. As Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, one of the chief architects of the Indian Constitution, rightly observed, even if the state enacts any law or undertakes any administrative action, it cannot be sustained if it goes against the spirit of the Constitution. The principle lies at the very foundation of constitutional morality. Through judicial process and reasonable restrictions, a delicate balance between freedom and responsibility is maintained. In this digital age, where democracy itself is a constantly evolving, freedom of expression faces new and complex challenges, making the protection of fundamental rights all the more crucial. I take this opportunity to congratulate all those who have organized this discussion in collaboration with the Parliamentary Affairs Department for creating a meaningful platform to deliberate on these vital constitutional concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Sashna K. Mohammed, Secretary, Staff Association, to facilitate the dignitaries.
Most respected dignitaries on the stage and their participants, I'm very grateful to felicitate the national seminar on the topic Judicial Review and Freedom of Expression, please calibrating constitutional morality. The topic is not only intellectual but also socially vital. I sincerely appreciate all the organizing committee members for making this platform for meaningful perspectives. On behalf of Staff Association, I wish every success to the today national seminar and extend my all wishes to all the participants here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. As we come to the conclusion of this inaugural session, it's time to express our gratitude. I invite Dr. Judicial MB, Coordinator, Parliamentary Affairs and Electoral Literacy Club, to propose a vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Respected Principal Professor Mansoor Ali PP, Janab C.K. Abdul Rahim, former Judge and Acting Chief Justice, Kerala High Court, Janab M.M. Ashraf, Secretary, College Managing Committee, dignitaries on and off the dais, my dear colleagues, students, and scholars. This gives me immense pleasure to stand before you on this auspicious occasion. A few months back, Principal brought my attention to a seminar invitation invited by Institute of Parliamentary Affairs. While I looked into that seemed very relevant for the demanding and challenging times that we are. And we could make a nice proposal with the help of Principal himself. I'll just read the title in Malayalam. നീതിന്യായ പുനഃപരിശോധനയും ആവിഷ്കാര സ്വാതന്ത്ര്യവും ഭരണഘടനാപരമായ ധാർമ്മികതയുടെ പുനർനിർണയം. We know that, as very correctly our Chief Justice pointed out, before 75 years back, 80 years back, surprisingly, we were so secular and progressive that we opted to omit in the name of God while we started the preamble of Constitution, and we were so aware and so academically intelligent to start that we the people of India. And it's a pity that right now, during these troublesome times, and also he very correctly pointed out that while we parted as Pakistan, we refused to be named as Hindustan, and we decided, we chose to inherit the great privilege of being called the part of the Indus Valley civilization. And in that regard, we had a legacy of leaders back then, like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. We had leaders of that stature, caliber, and vision then. And I don't understand why naturally it progressed during the course of time to have more secular and more progressive leaders. Instead, we are in this mud hole right now, and we are trying with all our might to fall into pieces. And that's the pity and paradox we are facing in India right now. I'm not elaborating. Let me fulfill the responsibilities that bestowed upon you. During this 2-day national seminar, erudite scholars will be interacting with you. The session 1, which was also the inaugural session, was delivered by our former Judge and Acting Chief Justice, Janab C.K. Abdul Rahim sir. We couldn't have wished for a more appropriate and elegant personality to mark the beginning of this prestigious seminar. With his wonderful knowledge on the subject, he has truly enlightened the session. I take this opportunity to express our deepest gratitude from the bottom of our hearts, sir. Session 2 will be held by Mr. Abhilash Mohan, Deputy Editor, Madhubhumi News. Session 3 will be held by Dr. T.S. Shamkumar, Sanskrit teacher, Dalit Activities, Department of Education, Kerala. Session 4 will be handled by Dr. Vaishagan Thambi, Assistant Professor, Mahatma College, but he is also, he's a social media influencer, and he professes scientific temper. And session 5 will be handled by Advocate Asha Unnitan. And I truly believe that these personalities, the interactions with these elite personalities will be greatly benefited from that. And as I pointed out, from suggesting the title of this seminar, Dr. Mansoor sir, our principal, he always preferred to work with us. So in fact, this title was framed by his suggestions. I take this opportunity to thank beloved Principal Mansoor Ali sir for all the support and guidance given during the early discussions to this point. Similarly, our college managing committee, Ashraf sir, whenever I meet him, he had personally ensured that all the criterions are met for the smooth conduct of this seminar. We are truly lucky to have such able visionaries as our leaders. I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the managing committee and especially the secretary, Janab Imam Ashraf sir. And IQAC coordinator Jasina Miss, nothing to be said of her. She is everywhere, the omnipresent. She is in department. She is in the upstairs in the IQAC. She is pipelining the activities, simultaneously coordinating multiple things, and the passion with which she carries out each of these responsibilities shouldered onto her, and the cooperation and cordiality vibes that she is giving away during the process, I think it's inimitable and unique. I thank her also for her constant support and guidance. Similarly, my fellow coordinators, Ms. Roshni, Ms. Anupama Murli, and the student coordinators, Pradap, Hiba, and everyone else. We have joined together, held hand in hand to make this conference a grand success. And the backbone of any such national seminars of this stature, it becomes beneficial only when scholars from neighboring institutions come here to share the knowledge and push the envelopes even further, push the frontiers of knowledge even further. So I thank all the scholars assembled here representing various institutions, and we are greatly privileged to have all of you here. And also, at last but not the least, I take this opportunity to thank all the students of this college who are the true leaders and for whom we are organizing and coming up with such new ideas. I thank all my students, all my fellow faculties, all the scholars, everyone from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. As a token of gratitude, MS College Marapalli wishes to present a gift to our chief guest, Justice C.K. Abdul Rahim. I request our college managing committee secretary, Janab Imam Ashraf sir, to do the honor. And I humbly request Justice C.K. Abdul Rahim to accept the seat. So please. Thank you all for being part of this meaningful academic gathering. We hope the deliberations over the next 2 days will be intellectually enriching and inspiring.
Session. Debriefing paper presentations.
Research scholars or paper presenters kindly know that presentations will commence after the debrief.
അപ്പോൾ എപ്പോഴാണ് ഇനി സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്?
ലൈവ് സ്ട്രീമിംഗ് നിർത്തിയിരിക്കും. ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ പേപ്പർ പ്രസൻറ്റേഷനാണ്, അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടേ ഉള്ളൂ.
നിർത്തട്ടപ്പാ.
ഞാനൊരു